Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. I want to introduce you to a fascinating young gentleman. His name is Alex Brita, and this past week, he premiered his horror film, a horror film titled Invited, and it was at the Blood in the Snow Film Festival. The cast and crew were on the red carpet on Thursday, and it was a celebration of horror, science fiction, action, thrillers, and underground cinema. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Tell me, what's the film Invited all about?
So the film Invited is basically, it's a found footage film on Zoom. And it's all about a elopement that this family is going to. And so I play Logan, which is the son of the lead. And we're all meeting to see my sister get married. She's run off with this mysterious man. And then, as everything in horror movies, things don't go so well and things start going awry. And we realize that she's actually involved in a cult. And we have to watch this horrible ceremony go on before our eyes.
Wow. How did you get into horror films?
Yeah, so I've been an actor ever since I was like little. Ever since I was like 8, I've been acting. And so I went to Vancouver Film School in 2021. And before that, in high school, I was in theater school. And so I've been acting all my life. And right when I graduated Vancouver Film School, that's when I started to pursue music and acting more heavily. And I was just so eager. I literally, wherever I could, through my agent, through things online, I would submit to every single thing. And this casting director reached out to me about this horror film opportunity. And you could ask me to audition to like play a person on the side of the street and I would do it. You know what I mean? And so I ended up getting this great opportunity, really hit it off with the writer and director, and I was really happy to be a part of it.
Horror, though. That's kind of an interesting genre.
It is. I love horror. I think honestly, I have the look for horror. I don't think I have the boy next door kind of look. So I sometimes have a unique kind of creepy look, and I don't mind horror. I think it's fun.
And it's streaming on a streaming service. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's streaming on Tubi. So Tubi, it's one of the smaller streaming services, but they have loads of content. And it's actually free to everyone. They have ads, but it's free to everyone, and it's a great opportunity to get your film out there.
Can I get it on my TV?
You can get it on your TV. I have it on my Apple TV.
So I go to my app and then do what?
Yeah, you go to the App Store, you download, you look up Tubi, Tubi, download it, and there'll be lots and lots of films on there. And you can look up Invited and watch me in that.
Fantastic. And you also are a musician, I understand. And you've just released a song?
Yes, I just released a new song. It's called Nasty Boy. And music has always been like a hobby in my life. I love music so much, and I really committed to the acting. And then once I graduated film school, I thought, how am I going to make this work? I know that I need to be an entertainer. This is my career. But I just thought, I can't wait around for my agent to call me. I need to be out there. I need to be my own boss. I need to be doing as much as I can. And like my nana always said, you got to throw all your spaghetti noodles at the wall, whichever one sticks first. And that's what I decided to do. So I've been pursuing music for a few years now, and I'm very excited about my new release.
Tell us about Nasty Boy. How would I describe it? Is it pop? Is it
Yeah, so I describe my music as alternative rap.
Alternative rap.
Alternative rap. So I am rapping. It's rap music, though I really make it my own. I'm a little white gay boy from Ottawa. So right off the bat, it's going to be different, and I think it's sensual, it's edgy. I really am into lyrics. I love lyricism. So there's, clever punchlines in there. I really am inspired by the 2000s. That's what I grew up on. I love Beyonce is my everything. So I love all of that, Destiny's Child. But then when you go, I love Trina and Ludacris. And, raunchy things like that. Southern hip hop is what really has inspired me. And so Nasty Boy is kind of a culmination of all of that. It's a very sensual, sexy song. But it's also kind of silly and doesn't take itself too seriously. It's nice.
Can you recite for us some of the lyrics if possible? You don't have to rap it, but maybe just Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I started off there's kind of like a whisper, and I start, I'm sleazy. Boy, come on, don't tease me. I like the way that you need me. How you trying to come please me? There's only one thing I want to do. Want to get up in the way that you move. I'm braggadocious. What's with you? See, you've been looking, enjoying the view. So it's very like it's sensual. It's kind of like a conversation. It's like what I imagine this is like. That's honestly, I feel like how I talk to guys when they approach me at the bar. You know what I mean? You know when you're I've had a few drinks in and someone's talking to you, and then you just get a little cocky, but they like that, and it's that playfulness. It's fun. I think what I love so much about rap music is the confidence it brings out of me, and the confidence that it brings out to the listener. When you listen to a rap song and you're really, really into the lyrics, you just feel like no one can touch you. And that's what I love.
Where can I listen to this?
Wherever you listen to your music, it's on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you find your music.
And do you have a band?
No, so it's just me. I work with a producer that I met through the internet. Him and I heard one of his beats and I reached out to him and I was like, "Well, this is really cool. Here's my music, can we work together?" And so every once in a while he'll send me some things. And then I record it in Scarborough.
And so we could see it on Spotify or something like this. And
You totally can.
do you perform in any bars or
Of course,
music
everywhere
halls
I
or-
can. Everywhere I can. I performed in the Village a few times at Woody's. I performed, I don't know if you've heard of Bartlett House. They do a lot of really interesting street performances and street parties. And so I did a 20-minute set with them the other day. And yeah, it was really great.
So if people want to check out where they could see you perform, is there a website or how do
Yeah,
people
you can
follow
just
you?
follow me on Instagram. It's Alex DiBrita, Dibrita, and you'll be able to find all my stuff through there. I'm also really active on TikTok, which is, at first I find TikTok started coming out and I was like almost too cool for school. I was like, oh, what is this? I don't want to do it. That was when I was in high school. And it's really become such a tool for me to start to build a following. So it's been a real blessing.
What do you publish on TikTok?
Lots of my music, though, really just my personality. I find that when I am finding a new artist, that's what I'm really attracted to. It's like, oh, who are they? And so I'll post little stories that I want to talk about, things that I thought was funny, my outfits. I'll do get readies with me, and then I'll do a lot of just my music and me and my friends goofing off and singing the lyrics.
Fantastic. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, Alex. We're going to take a break and be back in just 2 minutes. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're chatting tonight with Alex Brita, who is an actor. He's just recently released the premiere of a horror film called Invited that you can get on, what's the streaming service again?
Tubi.
Tubi, that you can get invited on. And they had their premiere just last week. And it sounds like it's an interesting end. And the film festival, tell us about that film festival.
Yeah, so it's Blood in the Snow Film Festival.
Blood in the Snow?
Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's every single year at U of T, and it's a really great film festival. Actually, my friends that I went with had been going to this film festival, and I didn't even know about it, but they feature a lot of up-and-coming short films, up-and-coming films, a lot of filmmakers. It's great to network, great to see the talent that's coming out of Canada through that.
Fantastic. I've never heard of that festival before. Maybe I should go. And you're also a musical performer.
I am, yes. I am a rapper. I call it alternative rap because, I do my own thing being a little gay white kid from Ottawa. So,
you've said that a few times. Why do you say that? And what do you mean by that? And what was it like growing up as a white gay guy from Ottawa?
I think I say that because whenever I say I do rap music, everyone, shocks nods their head and they're dumbfounded a little bit. And I think it's also because I respect rap music so much. And so I do my own thing. I put my own spin on it and I make it my own. That's why I call it like alternative. But yeah, growing up as a gay white kid in Ottawa, I mean, really just a gay kid in Ottawa, I feel like I always say that I was super privileged. I went to an arts high school when I was 14 and up until I graduated. And so I had a really, really great experience where I felt super accepted. I had a pretty normal high school experience. I had relationships, that's not a lot of things that gay kids are able to have. Though I think before that, I went to a Catholic school. And so that I think I there had a lot of really horrible experiences growing up really early on that I feel like I blocked out. And then I made up for it once I went to an arts high school when I was 14.
Were you
So I don't
bullied?
know. Pardon?
Were you bullied?
Of course, yeah. I remember, like, yeah, pretty badly.
But
Yeah, I think like when I remember. So do you remember the show Ugly Betty?
no.
No, there was a show Ugly Betty in 2006, America Ferrera, Vanessa Williams. It was like an amazing show. I loved it so much, and I would watch it with like my dad's girlfriend when I was really little. And it was all about fashion, and I was like, "Oh, I want to be a fashion designer." Blah 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 blah. And I would tell all the kids at school that. And I remember this one kid brought over his older sister, and like made me say to her what I wanted to do. And I was like, "I want to be a fashionista. I want to be a fashion designer." And they were just laughing, laughing, as if it was the funniest thing. And to me, I was like confused. I was like, what's so funny about it? And that's when I realized it was quote unquote wrong to want to do that as a guy, And but I think I've also, I don't know, it's been weird because I faced a lot of bullying growing up, but my dad taught me from a really young age to not care what anyone thinks and not what anyone tells you. And so I would tell everyone when I was like I don't know, 5 or 6, that I had a crush on this sixth grader named Scott. You know what I mean? Like I was always very comfortable with my sexuality and who I was. And I remember when I was little, when I was growing up, gay was just a slang for something bad. They're like, oh, that's gay, blah blah blah. And so I didn't like the word gay, but I knew that I liked boys and that I was gay. So it was a weird thing growing up where there was a lot of conflicting narratives and there was a lot of turmoil, I feel like, in myself. But then once I was 14 and I got in that safe space where I was able to be who I was and no one cared, I really, really flourished.
So did you come out or were you just always gay?
I never really came out. Like I really never came out. I remember one time I was about to run into a guy that I like had been seeing. And I just looked at my mom and was like, I'm gay, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, good. So I don't want to have that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so weird. I never had to really come out because I was just like, I had always been so open about boys, but we just never said that word, I guess, because that word was just used as so derogatory, I guess.
You've undoubtedly had some friends that didn't come out until their 20s or late teens or something like that. How was your experience different or better than theirs, do you think?
Oh, I feel so blessed, honestly, to have my experience because I think that, like, I honestly, yeah, there's so many people who are just discovering themselves now. And I was really lucky that I was in a safe, accepting environment where I'm not going through those struggles. That's not something that's keeping me up at night. That's not something that's stopping my day to day. That I have no anxiety about any of that. I think a lot of people, even people that I'm in relationships with, they're just discovering their self now. And it's like, it's tough because we're just at different stages in our lives. And it just really does affect you, I think, at what stage you find that out about yourself.
This last election in the United States has been interesting in that there wasn't necessarily a lot of negativity toward gay, but there was in regards to trans people and to drag shows.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about all that political cultural controversy?
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it really confuses me because people being transgender and drag queens, that's nothing new. You see that in movies in the 80s. This is not a new concept. It's just more accepted and it's more celebrated. And it's not looked down upon and it's not looked on as a joke. And I guess that makes people uncomfortable. A quote that really stuck with me was, I forget who said it, but it was something along the lines of no one likes to see anyone too free. And that is exactly what I think is going on in the United States. And
No one
honestly, all
likes
over
to
the
see
world.
anyone too free.
No one likes to see anyone too free.
We're jealous of people feeling free.
No, no one likes to see anyone too free. Like I think when you see drag queens or transgender people depicted in media. They're always hard and they're always going through something and they're always struggling and blah, blah, blah. And nowadays it's become so accepted that they're flourishing. And I think that makes some people feel very uncomfortable. And I think you can say the same thing about gay people. People being, there's not like I go to Florida every single year and visit my Nana, and she lives in a very red part of Florida. And there's always, Trump supporters around and blah, 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 blah. But they don't have an issue with me. They don't care. I get along with them fine. But if I started bringing my boyfriend around or had long nails and maybe, I don't know, express myself freely, maybe then they would have, more of a problem with me. But if I just sit quietly and they know I'm gay, but I don't talk about it too much, then they feel okay. Because it's something that they don't understand and it makes them feel uncomfortable because they can't control it.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Do you talk about any of these issues in your music?
I think no, honestly, yeah. I had an experience last year where I was dating this guy and I found out that he had a girlfriend across the country. And I didn't know about this. I obviously ended the relationship, but I was just dumbfounded and I was heartbroken because I was like, wow, like there is this part of you and the sexuality part of you that you're not even comfortable expressing and like you're hiding it from everyone. And he was open with me and we would go out in public, but he wasn't from the city that I'm in right now. He wasn't from Toronto. And so it's a complicated relationship. And I really talk about that relationship in one of my songs where it's like, wow, your girlfriend doesn't even know that you're gay. I don't even, and it's just like, was dumbfounding to me because I'm so comfortable with my sexuality and it was heartbreaking. And yeah, so I talk about my sexuality through that. I also am just very freely and open with it. And I talk about it confidently. And Nasty Boy, I rap like a guy would rap about a girl, except I'm rapping about a dude.
Thank you so much for sharing some of that
Mhm.
personal stuff with us. You've also been in commercials, I understand. So acting is something you really want to pursue, and you are pursuing very successfully.
1,000%. Yeah. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm going for. I started doing commercials when I was really little. I remember my parents would drive me up all the way to Toronto from Ottawa. It'd be like a 4-hour drive just to be in the audition room for like 2 minutes. I remember one time I drove all the way up here. I walked in the room, they took a picture of me, and then they said, okay, good, we'll see you. We'll call you back if we want you. And they just took a picture of me. I was like, what? Couldn't this have been? Couldn't you have just taken one of my headshots? But anything for an opportunity. So
So if a young teenage boy came up to you and said he wanted to be a fashionista and a fashion designer, but he was getting bullied at school, what would you tell him?
I would tell him he needs to pursue it with his whole chest, and he cannot for 1 second doubt himself, because the second that he starts to doubt himself, everyone else will start to doubt him. You need to ignore what everyone has to say. Someone will always, always have something to say. Look at yourself in the mirror, be proud of who you are, write in a journal, and go, kick some butt.
Alex, I love your shirt. Did you design it or where'd you get it?
I didn't. I thrifted this shirt actually in Toronto. Yeah, I love to go thrifting. I find you just find such unique pieces that you will not find in stores.
Tell us where we can follow you, where we can find the film, and where we can find your music.
Yes, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Alex DiBrita, AlexDibrita. You can watch my new film Invited on Tubi, and you can listen to my music on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your music from.
And the new song is called?
The new song is called Nasty Boy.
I'm going to go listen to it right now. Alex DeVita, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.